Megan, it is great to see you. Right off the top, I got to ask you, Mississippi?
Yeah.
What was it like being up there in Mississippi? Because from what I understand, you were doing some great hunting up there.
Yes, I had the privilege of going to visit some of my friends at Mossy Oak. So the Mossy Oak Camo Company is actually based in sorry, dogs, um, West Point, Mississippi. It's where it was started. And we got to stay. So the cabin we stayed at belongs to the Hayes family, and so Daniel was sort of our host there, and it was his grandfather, I believe, that started Mossy Oak initially. So we had an amazing time. It was beautiful land. We saw deer in every hunt, but we were bow hunting, so you're looking for them to come in pretty close range. Unfortunately, nothing came in close enough for us to shoot, but we still had an amazing experience. I'm a better person when I've been in the woods for a few days. So either way, whether or not we got to harvest something, it was good for the soul.
No, I hear you loud and clear. It's always going back to your roots that's so important. And also, when we talk about roots, we are talking about music too, because this single and video is so, and I can use the word cool. So, for folks who are wondering what's going on here, can you please give us the name of this new video and what the single and video is about, please?
Yes. So the new single is called Cool About It. I love this song. It was a little bit, I remember when I first wrote it. So this was actually, it's a special song to me for a couple reasons. The first one, this was actually one of the first songs I wrote during the pandemic when everything shut down and we started doing Zoom writes. And I had been just having this major writer's block. When everything first shut down, I was like almost like panicky, like, okay, well, now all my shows have been taken away, so I need to like make the best of this time and write some great songs for this new project. And I had no creativity, I had no ideas, like I just felt super stale. And the first idea that I had that kind of broke the I don't know, what do you call it, the drought or something, whatever you want to call it, broke the curse, was Cool About It. And I wrote it over Zoom with Carrie Barlow and Corey Crowder. And Corey, the demo that he did was awesome. It was, it had this very different feel kind of from anything else that I put out before, but it was still very me. And I loved the song. And then on top of that, when we went in and shot the video, so Sean Hagwell, my director, um, Sean is amazing. We've done, I think, the last at least 5 or 6 music videos with him. I know the first one was Wild as Me. So he's done every video in between of all the other singles. And what I love about Sean, he's super creative. And we both have always agreed, for me, if I'm going to shoot a music video, I want it to have something more to it than just like a glammed up performance, because like that's not that exciting, that's not something that's going to draw my attention or make me go watch it over and over again. And Sean always has kind of had a sort of cinematic quality to his videos. There's always some kind of storyline that to me just helps even develop the song itself beyond what it is just within the song, and it kind of gives it more depth. And so when Sean sent me the treatment for this video, I was like immediately obsessed with it. I'm like, this is so cool. Like I would have never thought of this idea. Like this was so, kind of outside of the box. And, when we ended up the day that we shot it, and I mean, it's probably one of the longer shoot days I've had. I mean, I think we were there a good 12 hours straight, just shooting. But I had a blast. Like I was almost sad when the shoot was over. And to be perfectly honest, sometimes the video shoots, like they're not that fun. Sometimes, sometimes they're just really exhausting, or, it's like 500 degrees outside and you're just like sweating and like trying to stay looking cute, but you're sweating, and it's a little bit grueling sometimes. But this video was just so much fun from start to finish. Like the actors that we had for this video were total pros, and like it was really cool for me. This was also kind of the first, I think this might be the first video I've ever done where there was no performance aspect. So everything that I was doing, it was kind of it was a real sort of challenge for me to be more working from like an acting perspective. It's also the first time I've had an actual spoken line in a music video, my one line. So it was just really fun for me to do that. I mean, I've done musical theater, so I've done a little bit of acting in that sense. But I mean, when I saw the first cut of the video, I'm like, this is so freaking cool. I can't wait for everybody to see it. We talked about, now we've talked about, I was like, I think that the next couple singles from this record, we do like a prequel and a sequel to like kind of flesh out the storyline of our main characters. Like what's, there's, it's sort of hinted at that there was some sort of relationship between them beforehand, but we don't really know what happened. So I'm like, maybe the next video is the prequel and we see what happened to them before we get to the art heist situation. So I think it'll be cool to keep like fleshing out this storyline and really keep the give the audience to really something to really sink their teeth into.
It is a bit of sort of like James Bond femme fatale kind of thing.
Yep.
I have to say this though, and I want this to I want to make it as clear to everybody as possible. For someone of color, I was so happy and proud to see other people of color in this video, and it wasn't like they were just in the background, they were prominent in this. Can you discuss why that became something important? Because it's nice to see representation.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, to if I'm being perfectly honest, it's just they were the best people for the job, and it's as simple as that. I wasn't, you know, I don't really do anything just for the optics of it,
Mhm.
and I try and really be authentic and like, we wanted to have a diverse cast, and a lot of that came from Sean. He had the connections, he knew a lot of the actors. I don't have a lot of those connections in this world, and when he picked them out, I like they were all just amazing, and it was just simply that we wanted, yes, we wanted that representation in there, but also they were just really good at it, and they absolutely sold the role. Nina, the woman who is next to me, I mean, one of my favorite parts in the video is when they get busted, just the look on her face, like without saying anything, like the look on her face was just like so good. And then Jesse Ray is like, I mean, I literally felt like I was in a movie when we were around that poker table. I mean, these guys were such great actors. I feel like I learned a lot, just from being around them, and it was such an awesome experience all around.
I don't want to give too much away because I want folks to see the video, but my favorite part was the knife. And I'll leave it to that. And the reason why is, to me, when I was watching, I'm going, this is so believable. If somebody told me Megan Patrick had done this, I would say, absolutely, she would get away with something like this.
Well, I do always carry a pocket knife. So that was very realistic to me. And it's actually funny because people have noticed it. I mean, if I'm on stage and I've got pockets, I'm probably got a knife on me. It's just odd. I mean, it's just like, and I mean, some of it is a little bit like self-protection, but also people are like, why do you carry a knife? I'm like, why don't you carry a knife? Do you know how many purposes there are for a knife? Do you know how many times somebody's like, oh, I wish I had a knife? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's just like something, a little bit of like just guys that I grew up around. They're all, in the trades and stuff, and they just always carried knives. And it was just something you kind of did where I grew up. So,
It reminds me a little bit of the
if you need
kind
to
of.
steal a piece of valuable art.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking to myself, the late '80s would do these kind of big theater type of videos, like if people have
Mhm.
seen the Michael Jacksons and stuff
Yes.
like that. So it's great to
Aerosmith.
see, and the fact that you're saying that you would do this again, I think, is amazing. Do you think you might be helping to restart a trend again? Because because we were so locked up for such a longest time, and people were very very creative in
Mhm.
making videos. I kind of feel like now that since things are opening up, people just want to go to the stars and just pow, go
Yeah.
after things like what you've done.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, do you mean like in terms of music videos or just like
Music
out in the
videos
world?
and
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just think that like, to me, especially if you're gonna, because it's not cheap to make these music videos, and like, to me, I want to make sure that the label's kind of getting a bang for their buck, and that the music video is going to help promote the song. It's gonna draw an audience, it's going to bring traffic to my my YouTube channels, or whatever it is. And it's just, like I said, to me, just having a glammed up performance of the song is just kind of boring. Like I wouldn't go watch that, even of my favorite band. It's like, cool, there's the song and they're playing it. You know what I mean? Um, and so, and again, it's also, like I said, it's an opportunity to flesh out and bring more depth to the story behind the song, and give the audience an opportunity to see more of your personality, or even get to see you act as a character, like I did in this movie, in this music, oh my gosh, this music video. Although, I mean, like you said, I don't I feel like I could be like an art heist criminal, in another life. I mean, I don't
Yes.
think it's too far fetched. I don't know that I would be as glammed up as I was to go steal the art, but that was honestly one of my favorite looks in a music video. I have to thank my stylist, Katie. I remember she was so excited for me to wear these tights and this whole thing, and I was like, "Ooh, okay, that's that's not something I've ever worn before." Because usually in music videos, I'm not really playing a character. I mean, short of like maybe the Grace and Grit music video where I was sort of the Western outlaw cowgirl, I mostly just kind of dressed as myself. So it was really fun for me to kind of like play a character instead of just like being, artist Megan. So
I know we got to wrap this up tour wise. What's happening in 2022?
Um, well, I will say there's some things I can't announce yet. I will say that I
Okay.
can't wait to get back to Canada. It's going to be awesome. I will finally be able to make up the remaining dates of my headlining tour. So I think those are confirmed sometime in April. So I'm really excited about that. There will be more. And I'm just looking forward to hopefully having a more normal touring year, because I was really lucky to be able to play a lot of US festivals this past summer, which was great. But short of the event at Burles Creek, I really really missed playing for my Canadian audience. I missed being back home and seeing all of them. So I'm really excited and looking forward to getting back to my Canadian fans next year.
And one very last question: holiday season. What's going on with the holidays for you?
Um, you know what? We haven't even we haven't really even talked about that yet. I know, I mean, we've got American Thanksgiving coming up in a couple weeks. So I've got some family coming down to visit me. I'm going to get to see my niece, which is awesome. But yeah, I'm not really sure what we're going to do for Christmas yet. We haven't really planned that far ahead. Mitchell's touring pretty heavily through till the end of the year, so we're just going to have to look at our schedules and figure out what we got going on.
Tell Mitchell I said hello. Congratulations on this video. Congratulations on the success of 2021. I am crossing fingers 2022. When we talk again, it will be in person. Love you
Yes.
big time. And again, congrats on all your success.
Thank you so much, Rudy. Always a pleasure to talk to you, bud.